Okay, so we're going to be looking at tough questions asked in a novel, A Long Walk to Water. But before we get there, I actually was just thinking of like, let's say there's a party and you're not invited. So then you ask yourself, well, why didn't I get invited? And that's kind of like a tough question. And so then you start to wonder about like if people really like you, or why weren't you invited? And that kind of tough question affects how you might see yourself, how you might develop your character. So we ask tough questions in our lives all the time. So, Long Walk to Water is by Linda Sue Park. I think you'll kind of get the gist of what's going on. Obviously, Salva, he's a refugee. You'll figure all this out. So let's look for the tough questions. Salva lowered his head and ran. He ran until he could not run any more. Then he walked, for hours, until the sun was nearly gone from the sky. Other people were walking too. There were so many of them that they couldn't all be from the school village. They must have come from the whole area. As Salva walked, the same thoughts kept going through his head in rhythm with his steps. Where are we going? Where is my family? When will I see them again? So obviously pretty clear, tough questions right there. But now I want to think about, what does this make me wonder about? First off, like I'm wondering about, where is Salva going? Who is he? Backstory, he is 11 years old. Then I'm wondering about, okay, what if I were missing my family? How would that make me feel? So those are just kind of the things I'm starting to wonder about. And then it leads me to a conflict. So clearly the conflict is Salva is lost from his family. Where are we going? He uncertain about the future. That's a conflict. Okay. Now let's move on to this next section. And it's going to be your turn to think about the tough question and what they make you wonder about. There were now 3 women giving water to the men on the ground. Like a miracle, the small amounts of water revived them. They were able to stagger to their feet and join the group as the walking continued. Oh, I forgot to say, this thing means it skips a little bit. So Salva keeps on walking and he actually joins up with another group of people. Doesn't find his family, but he's with another group of people. But their 5 dead companions were left behind. There were no tools with which to dig, and, besides, burying the dead men would have taken too much time. Salva tried not to look as he walked past the bodies, but his eyes were drawn in their direction. He knew what would happen. Vultures would find the bodies and strip them of their rotting flesh until only the bones remained. He felt sick at the thought of those men, first dying in such a horrible way, and then having even their corpses ravaged. If he were older and stronger... Oops, sorry. Fix that. If he were older and stronger, would he have given water to those men? Or would he, like most of the group, have kept his water for himself? It was... oh man, that tough question really makes me think. It was the group's 3rd day in the desert. By sunset, they would be out of the desert, and after that, it would not be far to the Itang refugee camp in Ethiopia. Well, now we know where he's going. But, tough questions. What do those make you wonder about? That's deep. And then finally, skipping again a little bit more. I am alone now. I am all that is left of my family. His father, who had sent Salva to school, brought him treats like mangoes, trusted him to take care of the herd. His mother, always ready with food and milk and a soft hand to stroke Salva's head. His brothers and sisters, whom he had laughed with and played with and looked after. He would never see them again. How can I go on without them? But how can I not go on? They would want me to survive, to grow up and make something of my life, to honor their memories. Oh, again, touching. It's a hard, tough question. So think about what that makes you wonder about. And then think about like how it connects to the theme, internal conflict, character development, and be prepared to talk about it. Thank you.